Hello students, I am ready with the next video. Next video is again on English. Subject is English for SSLC students, class 10 students in Karnataka state. And our topic is Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. This is poetry section. This is the second poem in poetry section of class 10 English, and this is second video. This is part 2. In our first video, in earlier video, previous video, I explained first 22 lines. Now I am again explaining another part of the same poem. It's a very long poem. First part we have seen in previous video, and now the second part. And as I told you in my previous video that this poem is a letter written by Abraham Lincoln, former president of United States of America. He wrote a letter to his son's teacher, and in his letter he wants his son to learn all these values. We have seen some values in first part. Now in second part, some more values which poet father Abraham Lincoln wants his son's teacher to teach his son at school. And I told you that it's not, these values are not important just for his son, but also for every student studying in, at least those who are in school, those who are in school life from 1st standard to 10th standard students. They must learn these values, very important. We have already seen many values, right? Now few more values are there. Let me read the poem first. I read these lines, then I will explain. I read out for you. It says, in the school teach him it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Teach him to be gentle with gentle people and tough with the tough. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. These are few more lines from the same poem, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. What he says in this section, in these lines, he says, in the school teach him. This line shows that a child must learn these values when he is in school, not after the school. That means not after the completion of his school life. In his school life only, in the school life itself, a child must learn these values. And we all know that school is the best place to bend a student. School is the best place, and teacher is the best person who can mold a student in whatever shape he wants. So it is possible at school only. So that's why he's saying, in the school teach him. In the school teach him. These things must be taught at school. What? It is far honorable to fail than to cheat. This is very important value. It is honorable to fail than to cheat. He wants to say that his son must learn that cheating is not good. Failing is better than cheating. One must fail but must not cheat. This value he wants his son. We have seen that at school, students, children, they try to cheat in exams, in tests, or sometimes in other matters, other than exams and other matters also, they try to cheat. They try to cheat the teacher, they try to cheat with their friends, they try to cheat with their parents, they lie, make excuses, try to cheat, right? So what father wants, what Abraham Lincoln wants, he wants his son to learn that it is honorable, it is good to fail. One must accept the defeat, one must accept to fail, but must not cheat. I give you one example of the father of nation of India, Mahatma Gandhi. We all know this incident. We have heard this many times. This incident of Mahatma Gandhi's school life. When Mahatma Gandhi was in school, once inspectors came to his school to inspect. Inspectors visited the school, and just to inspect how far the students have learned, the inspector told the children to write a word in their notebook. Most of the students were writing, but Mahatma Gandhi, father of our nation India, he was unable to write that word. He did not know how to write that word. And when the inspector was busy with other students, the headmaster of the school or the teacher of that school asked Mahatma Gandhi to copy that word from his fellow classmate. But Mahatma Gandhi, he did not copy, though his fellow classmate, the one sitting next to him, wrote it correct. And teacher asked him to copy from his friend, the one who was sitting next, who has already written correct. But Mahatma Gandhi refused to cheat, refused to copy that word from his friend. What did he say? He said, I am not going to copy. He did not listen to his teacher because the teacher was asking him to do something wrong, cheating. That's why he did not do that. So this is a very good example for all of us that failing is better, failing is honorable than to cheat. We must fail, but must not cheat. This value is very important. And then next, teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Sometimes children have got good ideas, new ideas in their brain, in their mind, but they do not take out of those ideas out of their brain. They do not tell this because they are shy. They think that if I tell this idea to someone, and if the other person feels it to be a nonsense idea or a foolish idea, he will laugh. That's why they keep their ideas in their own mind. They do not reveal it or they do not tell it to others. So what he wants, Abraham Lincoln wants his son's teacher to teach that every idea that comes to his mind, he must believe in his own ideas. He must use that idea in his life. He must tell or talk to others about his idea, even if others consider it wrong. I give you one example of this. One example is the scientist, the one who invented rubber. We all know that rubber is very important in our life today. We cannot think of our life even one day without use of rubber. We use rubber, like for example, even if we are going on bicycle or vehicle or any car or something, we are using rubber. Tires are made of rubber. Our shoes, slippers are made of rubber. And many other uses are there. So the scientist who invented rubber, when he was working on it in his laboratory to invent rubber, his fellow countrymen, even his family members, they laughed at him. They did not like his idea. His family members, his wife, his children, they left him because he was continuously working in his laboratory to discover, to invent the thing which he wanted. And that was rubber, right? And finally, he invented rubber. He invented rubber and he showed it to the world. And the people did not accept it. They thought, the other people, they thought that it's a useless thing because till then, they did not know, no one knew the use of rubber, right? And till then, his family members had also left him. His wife had gone, his children had gone. And he died of hunger. That scientist died of hunger. He did not have anything to eat. And he died. But later, after his death, people realized that the thing which he had discovered, he had invented, is very, very useful in our daily life. And now, today, in today's life, nowadays, we know that we cannot think of even one day of our life without rubber. Right? So, when there are ideas in our mind, we must have faith in our ideas and try to use. That's the value he wants. This is the value Abraham Lincoln wants his son's teacher to teach his son, that whatever idea is coming to his mind, he must have faith that this is a good idea and it can be applied in our life. Even if others tell that the idea is wrong, he must at least try, apply that idea and to know what will be the result. Right? Then, next slide is, teach him to be gentle with gentle people and tough with the tough. Another important value. If you observe carefully, each and every value here is related to our life. Each and every value is something we must really learn. Right? And this is also one of the useful values in our life. Be gentle with gentle. There are some people who are gentle. They are polite. But others consider them as foolish and consider them as nonsense and behave badly with them. And there are people in the world who are bad. They are bullies. Yesterday I gave you the example, right? They are tough. What we are doing nowadays, we are being polite to tough people, considering them as strong or considering them as powerful or considering them as influential. So they should not do any harm to us. So we are being gentle with tough, and we are being tough with the gentle people, poor people, silent people, or a person who is quiet, silent, good. We are being tough with them. What we are doing is we are behaving badly with good people and we are behaving good with bad people. That's what Abraham Lincoln does not want his son to do. What does he want? He says that he wants his son to be polite with polite people, be gentle with gentle people, be good to good people, and be tough with the tough people. Those who behave badly, we must show them, we must teach them a lesson. We must not listen to them. We must go against them. And those who are good, polite, gentle, nice behavior, we must also show the same gentle, polite behavior with them. So this is what he wants us to learn. He wants his son to learn from his teacher at school. Teach him to be gentle with gentle people Please be good with good people and be tough with the tough people. Right? And then try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. When everyone is getting on the bandwagon, he wants his son not to follow the fashion. He wants his son not to follow what is going on. One must think what is good and follow it. We must not just do what everyone is doing. That may be wrong. If everyone is doing something, it doesn't mean that many are doing so it is good. No. It may be wrong also. We must not follow the fashion. Bandwagon means what is going on, what is in trend, what is running in the society, the fashion, right? And it's a tough thing to do so. It's not easy. It's not easy. Imagine the society, everyone in the society is wearing a kind of clothes that are latest in fashion. And for me or for any person, it will be tough to go against that fashion. That's why he is saying that try to give my son that strength. He has to have strength. It's not an easy thing to go against what is going on in the society. If you observe carefully, nowadays we see in case of hairstyle, we see that many people, especially young generation, they are having weird and very bad or wrong kind of hairstyle with color and some of the hair very small and at some places grown big, right? And this is the fashion and everyone is following. If we do not follow it, then we are considered as ancient people or old fashioned or very like simple and backward people. So, but for going against fashion, one needs courage. That is why he is saying strength. It is a going against the fashion is a thing of is an action of strength. Strength is required, courage is required. That's why he is saying, try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. The crowd, when everyone is running to do something, one must think that it is right or wrong and then do it. Not just everyone is doing so, I must also do that. That's wrong. And for that, strength is required. So, Abraham Lincoln wants his son's teacher to produce or to give him that strength so that he can go against the crowd if crowd is doing something wrong, right? When everyone is getting on the bandwagon, when everyone is following a particular fashion, his son must not just flow with them, just not go with them and follow the same thing, but he must have ability to think if it is right or wrong and then do what is right, what is wrong, and not do what is wrong. And then teach him to listen to all men. Teach him to listen to all men. One must listen to all men. Like when you are in the society, when you do something, many people will come to talk to you, to tell you something, to request you something, to advise you something. So what we should do, we must listen to all. We must listen to our friends. When we are doing something, when we try to do something, people give advices. Our friends give advices, our relatives give advices, our enemies also give advices. Everyone gives advice. Everyone says something about our work. But what should we do? We must not. It's not like I listen to only my friends and I do not listen to others. No. We must listen to all. Those who appreciate us, we must listen to them. Those who oppose us, we must listen to them also. one must have listening is very important. Nowadays, what is happening? No one is ready to listen. No one is. Everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants to give advice. Everyone wants to instruct the people, show the people, tell the people what is right, what is wrong. No one is ready to listen. Listening is very important. We must listen, and we must listen to all. We must listen to rich, we must listen to poor, we must listen to powerful people, we must also listen to those who are not powerful. We must listen to our relatives, friends, enemies, everyone. We must listen to everyone. Listen everyone. But after listening, what should we do? That is important. This is what? Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears. On a screen of truth, we must, whatever we hear, we must filter it. Have you seen when your mother or a cook, while making a bread, he first filters the flour. Filters the flour. Flour, F-L-O-U-R, flour. Right? Flour. Before making a roti or a bread, flour is filtered on a screen, right? We have a screen, and whatever good flour comes, we take it, and unnecessary and unwanted things that are left on the screen are thrown. In the same way, we must filter whatever we hear from all men. We must filter all those things on a screen of truth. And whatever good comes through, and take only the good that comes through. And we must take whatever good comes through the screen of truth. Whoever is telling the truth, we must take it. And the lies and or any other wrong or bad ideas, we must leave them. This is what poet father wants his son to learn at school. I hope you understood these lines. I want you to learn these values, read again and again. In the examination, two types of questions are asked. Either they ask you to write any 10 or 12 or 15 values. Write any 8, 10 or 15 values. And sometimes a value is given in the exam, that Abraham Lincoln wants his son to learn this at school. Why? Reason. This type of question also. A value is given, and why a child should learn this value, that we have to explain. I will give you the questions also. Remaining poem will be explained in next video. I hope you all understood. Thank you for watching.